from an energy standpoint, I've put some energy into the ground of Twitch, right? We just gonna have this moment because I take the content from these shows and I throw them out in other places. So we just gonna frame this little section right here. Hi, I'm Fathom DJ. We're live and direct via Twitch. Twitch.tv/Fathom DJ. I have 5 shows running a week at this point. What I will say is my most interactive shows, because we have to have a conversation about interactivity as it pertains to the chat. The chat is the reason that you will or won't get visibility on Twitch. I don't know if people know that. So if you don't talk and you don't get people talking in your chat room, then your streams don't get the visibility that they would. Now, this works for people who are really, really popular. People who are really, really popular don't have to talk so much because people come into their chats and they just go ham in their chats. So they don't really have to do a lot of talking. But I noticed even Louis Vega shouts his people out when he's live. And he does that to make it more interactive. All of these sites are based on action and interactivity. And that's the reason why when you come into these rooms, people are like, oh, throw some emojis up in the chat. Tell me what city you from. Blah, 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 blah. All of these things. Now, I used to be super quiet. And occasionally, in the real world, I don't even, I make announcements on the microphone. I'm going to do more of that because I'm being encouraged based on my voice to do some drops and maybe some voiceovers. I might be able to get some voice work. I'm open to that. But in a DJ format, I hardly ever talk on the microphone. So this is all new territory for me. Now, my Monday show is doing relatively well because it's smash or trash. And people, and the critiques of music and me playing tunes that folks haven't referenced before, have never heard before, whatever, has created that consistency. Music and Wine, which is on Sunday night, has hit some level of peaking because we have 2 other people involved, and those 2 other people are kind of bringing energy to the session. It was supposed to be a show. It's not supposed to be just me DJing, and that happens on Pollard Den Music's channel. And it's starting to get connectivity. When we did it live, we hit a certain level, and I think it popped. Morning Love, my last session for Morning Love, which was yesterday, was off the chain. I don't know what was different about it. I had consistency. I had a bunch of followers in my set. My energy was up. I got some subscribers, some bits thrown. That was dope. That's the first time that's ever happened. So Morning Love is doing good. Triple T is a struggle for me. Why? Because I feel like hip hop is so oversaturated. And to be honest, I'm not as encouraged. I love the older hip hop. R&B in a hip hop 90s format is not my favorite because it was corny to me. The machine, and this is how I work in general. We just gonna talk this out. When commercialism takes its toll on music genres, it becomes less genuine to me. It becomes less real. And I know there's a leg of production involved in that says, oh, you need to meet these obligations and we need to make this music and it needs to be this consistent and it needs to do this, this, and this, and we're going to put all this money behind you and you got to have a look and all the image and it gets glamorous. And somewhere the strength of the music itself gets lost. So from that standpoint, Mary J. Blige comes to mind, Aaliyah comes to mind. All these people who have contributed to the R&B factor and its popularity, it's just it's ridiculously repetitious. And Yeah, I'm saying thank you so much for I'm not digging for compliments in this. I'm just being honest about my vigor as it pertains. I have that same feeling about house music. As much as I love to dance and DJ house music, I like underground shit, and that shit just don't like. I'm looking at people's shows, and I applaud Vince Adams. I applaud. I can't even remember the DJ's name. It's somebody from Atlanta. I'm not gonna say because they probably think I'm hating on Atlanta anyway, based on what I think about a lot of these DJs here. I'm just being honest, but they have maximized their potential here on Twitch, and like it's a routine, and they got all these people in the chat and all these images and all this shit floating around, and they get like 300, 400 numbers every time they pop up, and it's all good. But guess what? And this is not a diss. It's a fact. The music has taken such a, I don't even know if it's a third row seat. Like, the music is not important in any of these shows that I see. I see repetition, playing the same tracks. The tracks is corny as stuff. It's boring. And like, I have problems just sitting watching the chat. I have problems just sitting watching DJs. Like, I can listen to you, but if you just talking and you're not giving no history and you're not giving no, depth to the songs, and then the songs are corny and they repetition, I'm not feeling that. So that's why I'm in the pocket that I'm in. So as it pertains to, I created the Triple T show to kind of bridge the gap, because most of my other shows are deep and unknown and underground, and Triple T is supposed to address hip hop for the sake of commerce. And I don't know if I'm really doing that good of a job promoting this particular show, in addition to the fact that I'm not certain that Thursdays works for me in terms of energy after spinning and being out in the street till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday night. I'm not sure, but I'm trying. Like a kid, I'm trying. And then another one of my weaker shows is Diasporic Thump. And the reason why Diasporic Thump is probably weak is because, again, like, the format of the show is, I think is pretty dope. I think it's dope. But then it's a bunch of other shows, and they playing all the repetitious shit that people seem to want to hear, dance music wise and others. It's like a Friday night in your average club. You go to the club Friday nights. Don't expect to be hearing nothing artistic and funky. Don't expect to hear nothing cool. You're going to hear Poison. You're going to hear Bad Girl by Usher. I can give you 1,000 trillion other songs that people will play, and it's considered hot. And for the sake of the craft and the sake of the fact that I have a different twist and taste on music, that show don't necessarily pop. Not yet. But I'm committed to showing up, and I have several reasons to show up that may not be obvious. One reason is because I love music and it makes me feel good. The second reason is because I love that music makes other people feel good. And that in turn makes me feel even better, right? What's that, 2? 3 is because I have a group of Jedis who are really inspired by my vigor. Just the fact that I'm doing what I'm doing, just the fact that I'm the age that I am doing it, and I'm leading the way for a few people who are venturing to do similar things. So it's like a mentee, mentor, big brother, little brother, big sister, little sister kind of situation. And that's another reason why I show up. This show was off today. Like, I was supposed to be on at 4 o'clock. Guess what I was doing? I was helping one of my little big brothers get connected and get his camera set up, because he's in the world getting his legs and building his team's brand and stuff. I was helping him get his cameras up. Then I had to have a conversation about business with my colleague, Adi Batista. And so that took a bunch of time. So we're going to try. Because all I can do is try. I have fun playing these hip hop cuts, old school specifically. But they gotta feel good to me. Of course, I can play a little bit of everything, and I will. But from the standpoint of just making sure that I can do Thursdays, I'm concerned about just doing them in general, and I'm also concerned about making sure that I stay true to my taste in music, and that I don't have to give so much, because in the real world, DJs have to sacrifice a lot. We sacrifice a lot of good music just to appease a bunch of people who may or may not support us in any other way. We don't even know if they drinking based on all these tunes that we're playing. We don't know any of this stuff. I have data. I have data to support it because I'm on a management team for a small venue. So I get to see the numbers. Okay, you play everything that everybody wanted to hear from the hours of 12 to 2 a.m. I'm just saying, if I'm wrong, Juice, if I'm wrong, correct me. From the hour of 12 to 2, you play nothing but commercial bangers on a Sunday night. On a Saturday night. I have the data that says Fathom DJ played nothing but bangers at 12 to 2 a.m. on a Saturday night. People were in the venue everywhere. Did the numbers go up incredibly? No. In terms of them spending money on drinks? No. But they were in the room kicking it. And so I'm thinking to myself, do we need them here? Do I need to sacrifice my whole entire creative concept to just have people in the room who aren't purchasing things? I'm like, am I getting a booking? Like, I go through all of these different phases about the game right now. I'm a tastemaker. I like difference. I like to curate my sounds based on the vibe of the room in terms of decor and the pairing of cocktails. It does not have to necessarily be based on the people that come in. You might come in and you might be super duper ghetto. It does not mean that I'm going to play ghetto music because you're in the room. I'm too old and I'm too keen on making sure my vibrations are pure and from a healing place to switch my language up. My goal is to open and expose people to different genres of music and love them through music. Not to be, I'm going to hit you over the head with a bunch of songs that have the word bitchin', and I'm going to call you hoes, and I'm going to call you niggas 1,000 trillion times in my DJ set. Like, that's abuse. And at this point in my life, I've done it. If you pay me a ton of money, if you book me for your gig and I'm being paid, I may do it again. But from a space of understanding my gift, like in the right space with love and grace, I don't want to do that. So people are going to have to fuck with me under these particular framings because they like me as a person, because they truly in their souls vibrate to the music that I play, that they want to see me move further and reach people based on the vibration of music and the vibration of energy that I bring forth in my music, period. And if that is